Hi everybody, my name's Anna. I'm a yoga teacher here in Glasgow. I've put together a couple of videos to support the TCA and the climbing community during this lockdown and hopefully help support a bit of mental health and well-being because it's a difficult time. This practice that I've come up with is going to be focusing on balance, finding a sense of balance, and that will be physically as part of an asana sequence and also hopefully mentally through using some breath work techniques, some pranayama. And I'll introduce you to a couple of different types of breath work. And these are things that you can absolutely do as part of your day. You don't have to just keep them for a yoga practice. They can be used anytime. You may want a block or a book for your practice today. So when you're ready, come and find a seat. And it might be cross-legged or you might sit back towards your heels, however is comfortable for you. You want to be able to lend some weight down through your sitting bones. So whenever you come to your seat, you can play with transferring your weight forward and back, side to sides. Make sure that you can feel that connection of your sitting bones down and length through your spine. And you might imagine just gently sending the crown of your head up. And just take a moment to notice how it is you're feeling today. How do you feel? How is your body? What is present in your mind? A moment to check in with yourself. And then bring your hands to your body. You could have one hand on your belly, one hand on your chest. The first thing we're going to do together will be a 3-part breath, a pranayama. So what I want you to imagine is that your torso is split into 3 parts. You have your pelvis and your lower belly. And then you have the mid part of your torso, so coming up towards your lower rib cage. And then you have the upper part of your torso, your upper chest. And you're going to breathe into each of these parts sequentially, inhaling a third, and then inhaling another third, and then inhaling a final third. And you'll pause between each of those thirds. And then it's one exhale, in and out through the nose. So when you're ready, hands to your body, sitting up nice and tall. Let's take a round of breath to prepare. So just inhaling through your nose, exhaling through your nose. Then the next time that you inhale, inhale a third of the way and send that inhale towards the hand that's on your belly. So sending it down. Pause and hold. And then layer on top of that inhale, think about traveling into your lower ribs, front and back, side to side. Pause and hold. And then inhale the final third, filling all the way up now, all the way up to your upper chest, collarbones, even your throat, totally full. Pause and hold. Then it's one long exhale out through your nose, and completely empty with that exhale. And when you finish that exhale, we'll begin again. So inhaling a third of the way, sending that inhale down towards your belly. Pause and hold. Layering on top of that first inhale, traveling up towards your rib cage, front and back, side to side. Feel that width and breadth expand. Pause and hold. And then inhaling all the way up till you're totally full. You might feel your shoulders broaden, your chest broaden. Pause and hold. One long exhale out through your nose, following that exhale till you're empty. And let's do one more round. So inhaling a third of the way, sending that inhale down towards your belly. Pause and hold. Layering on top, thinking about building on top of that inhale, front and back, side to side. Pause and hold. Inhaling all the way up to your collarbones, your throat, upper chest, totally full of breath. Pause and hold. One long exhale out through your nose. And then at the end of that exhale, you can let your hands fall to your knees. And you can lose that 3-part structure of your inhale, but maybe you want to keep some of the space, some of the depth. So no need to pause now. One full inhale in through your nose. And just allowing that inhale when it feels right to kind of tip into the exhale. Still keeping that exhale long. And just notice the effect of that pranayama, if it's had any kind of effect. And as you breathe in and out through your nose naturally now, you could lend a slight ujjayi quality to your breath, which is the name for the type of breath where you slightly constrict the back of your throat to make almost a seashore breath. So inhaling, if you want, with that slight ujjayi constriction, running the breath via your vocal cords. Exhaling with that same ujjayi constriction. And we'll take 3 more rounds of breath here. With that ujjayi breath, your breath has this audible quality which just allows you to drop in, connect to it. And then if your eyes are closed, you can blink them open. Bring your left hand beside your left sitting bone. And with your next inhale, sweep your right arm up, bicep in line with your ear. And take a moment, think about getting long. And then as you exhale, start to side stretch. Right fingers moving over to the left. Stay for an inhale, really reaching your right fingers away. And as you exhale, come up through center, planting your right hand down. And then with your next inhale, left hand sweeps up, bicep in line with your ear. Get long on your inhale. And as you exhale, side stretching over towards the right, keeping your left sitting bone grounded and corkscrewing, reaching your left fingers away. Big inhale here. As you exhale, coming back through center and staying nice and tall for an inhale. And then as you exhale, we'll come into a little twist. So left hand to right knee, right hand behind you, and just gently rotating round to the right. And you don't need to crank or push yourself into this. Just breathe yourself into it. Stay for a breath here. You can imagine your spine like this spiral staircase and you're just rotating around. And then release through center. Sit up nice and tall. Let your spine be long as you inhale. And as you exhale, twist in the opposite direction. Right hand to your left knee, left hand behind you. Staying for a breath here. That spiral staircase of your spine, reaching up. And then releasing through center and taking 1 round of breath in your tall seat. And then dive forward over your knees and come to tabletop, hands and knees. So your hands are underneath your shoulders, your knees are underneath your hips, and your spine is long. So your sitting bones are moving in one direction, the crown of your head is moving in the other. Step your right foot back, curl your toes under, and just seesaw through that leg a couple times. Feel the back line of your leg start to wake up. And then the next time that you inhale, pick that foot up. So you can imagine sliding your foot up a wall. And press your foot away. And with your exhale, you're hugging your knee towards your nose and rounding a little bit through your spine. So inhale, press your right foot back and away. Send the crown of your head forward. And as you exhale, knee to nose rounding towards your spine. Now, as you inhale and press that right foot back, if you want to challenge your balance, extend your left arm forward, bicep in line with your ear. Big inhale, reaching away. And as you exhale, maybe elbow and knee towards your center this time. And you can keep your left hand down if this feels too wobbly. Let's do one more. Inhale, reach away, get long. Exhale, hug knee to nose, round in. And then plant your left hand down, plant your right knee down. Come back to that tabletop, maybe sway your hips or sit back, give your hands a little shake out if it felt like quite a lot of weight bearing. And then coming back to your tabletop, let's do that on the other side. So first of all, slide your left foot back, curl your toes under, and just seesaw through that leg a couple of times, waking it up. And then picking up your leg from kind of the base of your glute. So slide your left foot up and away as if up a wall. Take an inhale, send the crown of your head forward. And as you exhale, hug your knee in towards you, rounding through your spine, pushing your hands down. And then inhale, reach that left foot back and away, crown of head reaches forward. As you exhale, hug your knee in towards your nose and round. And maybe this time as you inhale, send your left foot back, you sweep your right hand forward, bicep in line with your ear. And as you exhale, it's elbow and knee towards center. And let's do one more of these. Inhale to reach away. Exhale to hug in. And then plant your right hand back down, plant your knee down, sway your hips. Come off your hands for a moment, circle your wrists if you need to. And then from tabletop, make your way to downward dog. So you might walk your hands forward, walk your feet back, and then pick up your hips, making this upside down V shape with your body. And it might feel nice to pedal your feet here, or sway your hips, get into your sides a little bit. You can take some movement. And then take a couple of breaths just to be still in your downward dog, pressing your hands down, big bend in your knees, reaching your tailbone up. You could connect back to that Ujjayi breath if it feels useful. And then tiptoe your feet towards your hands, forward fold at the top of your mat. The next time that you inhale, come into a halfway lift, bring your hands to your shins and ripple forward with the crown of your head. And as you exhale, forward fold over your legs again. And then as you inhale, sit your hips back, send the crown of your head up and come into chair. You might have your hands at your heart and stay here for an inhale, really sitting back into your chair. And as you exhale, push your feet down, come and stand up, Tadasana at the top of your mat. And just take a moment to feel this sense of connection, your feet to the ground. So maybe you transfer some weight into your toes, into your heels, outer edges of your feet or inner edges, until you have that sense of balance, all of the outer edges of your feet grounding and that a slight lift through your inner arch. And then find the crown of your head above that. So you've got this length, soles of feet pressing down, crown of head reaching up. We're going to do some sun salutations now. And if you like this movement, this is a great little sequence that you can kind of do anytime. It's nice to do in the morning, or if you've been sat at your desk, feel a bit stagnant, want to move a little bit. Good way of getting your energy moving, body moving. So with your feet planted, the next time that you inhale, sweep your arms up, take a big stretch and reach and look up towards your hands. And as you exhale, forward fold all the way down over your legs. With your inhale, halfway lift, hands to your shins, send the crown of your head forward. And as you exhale, fold over your legs, plant your hands to the mat and step or walk your feet back to plank. So in plank, your shoulders are over your wrists, your heels are above the balls of your feet, and know that it could be a half plank, knees to the ground. Take an inhale, nice and strong. And as you exhale, maybe for this first one, everyone lower your knees, hug your elbows back and lower your body all the way down to the mat. When you land, hands underneath shoulders, you're going to peel the top part of your spine from the mat. So think about lengthening the crown of your head forward to lift your heart forward and up, cobra. And as you exhale, push into your hands and your knees, travel back to downward dog. And let's take a couple of breaths in this dog. If you want to pedal your feet, go for it. If you want to sway your hips, go for it. Or just be still, connect to your breath. The next time that you inhale, bend your knees, look forward. And as you exhale, step or walk forward, forward fold at the top of your mat. Halfway lift as you inhale, forward fold as you exhale. And then as you inhale into that chair pose, so sink your hips back, send the crown of your head up, hands to your heart. Stay here for an inhale, really sitting your bum back. And as you exhale, come and stand, Tadasana, mountain pose. And let's keep going. We'll do two more. So inhale, sweep your arms up, look up. Exhale, fold forwards. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, planting your hands, stepping or walking your feet back to plank or half plank and staying for a strong inhale here. As you exhale, elbows hug back. Maybe your knees stay lifted this time, as controlled as you can, all the way down to your mat. And then inhale, rolling your shoulders onto your back, lifting your heart just a little bit. Keep your legs active, press them down. As you exhale, hands and knees, downward dog, and we'll just be here for one breath now. pressing your hands down, big bend in your knees, tailbone reaching up. As you inhale, bend your knees, look forward. As you exhale, step or walk forward, forward fold at the top. And then halfway lift as you inhale. Forward fold, exhale. And then inhale, chair pose, hips sink back, crown of head reaches up. And maybe this time, arms reach up as well. Sitting your hips back, that one big inhale. And then coming to stand as you exhale, Tadasana. One final round of this. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Plant your hands, step or walk your feet back. Plank pose for an inhale. As you exhale, shifting forward, elbows hug back, lower down. Inhale to cobra pose. Exhale, downward facing dog. One breath in downward facing dog, maybe an ujjayi breath. And then inhale, bend your knees, look forward. Exhale, step walk, or maybe you jump forward, kicking your heels up towards your bum. Forward fold at the top of your mat. And then halfway lift as you inhale. Forward fold as you exhale. And then chair pose, sinking your hips back, reaching your hands forward. Big inhale here. And then come to stand, Tadasana, mountain pose. So taking a moment, feet planted, maybe hands back to your body, connect to your breath. If it got a bit ragged, doing those sun salutations, smooth it out. Find that ujjayi breathing and really plant your feet down. Find that length through the crown of your head. And then you can bring your arms to the side of your body. So we're going to play with balance today. And just know that some days you're just not having a balancing day and there's not really anything you can do about that. You feel a bit wobbly. If that is the case for you today, please don't worry about coming near to a wall, putting your hand to something, using your block. You can make any adjustment that you want. Just have a little go, see how it feels. And if it's too much, come out of the balance, take a break, try it again. We're just having fun. We're not worrying too much about it or being too serious about it. So taking a moment with your feet nice and planted, crown of your head reaching up, you have that sense of steadiness. Look at your feet, pick up your toes and spread and plant them. Now, something that can happen when we're balancing on our feet is that our toes kind of want to scrunch up away from the ground, and that's going to actually be less useful for our balance. So we're going to keep that sense of our toes spreading and grounding down. Bring your hands to heart center, and then just slightly keeping that sense of length, tip your weight to your left foot and pick your right knee up. And then you're going to open your right knee out to the right and let the sole of your right foot come to the inside of your left leg. So it may be that the sole of your right foot comes to your thigh. It may be that it comes to your calf. It may be that you have your toe on the ground if it's a wobbly day. And if you feel pretty steady here, you could play with your arms. Maybe you sweep them up. If your foot is in your thigh, send your thigh back into your foot. So you're trying not to slump into that left hip. Keep everything knitting in towards the center. And what might be helpful is to find a focal point, something to stare at. We call that a drishti in yoga, where you're just pouring your awareness onto one spot, something that's not going to move. Let's take one more breath here. And then draw your hands through heart center if they're lifted. We're going to step back to warrior one. If you want to lower your right foot down first, you can do that, or keep your right knee lifted and slowly start to step it back. So for warrior one, both feet are facing forward. They're on two separate train tracks, and my back foot, my right foot's at about a 45-degree angle. Hips facing forward-ish, and I can feel this big opening into the front of my right hip flexor. Sweep your arms up, keep a big bend in that front knee. Let's take a couple of breaths here. Feet pressing down, arms reaching up. And then we're going to play with another balance from here, warrior three. So draw your hands to heart center, start to tip forward, and once you tip forward, you can come onto the ball of that back foot. That might make it a bit easier. So if you want, you could stay like this, just tipping forward, feeling your core work a little bit, hands to your heart. You can always use your block here, have your block handy as well, that's fine. Or you're starting to tip forward, lift your right foot up, and you're trying to find this parallel line from the sole of your right foot out the crown of your head, kind of like that little lengthening thing we did from tabletop at the start of class. So hands at your heart, or if it's very wobbly, hands to something, a prop, a wall. And if you're finding this pretty easy, maybe you play with sending your hands forward, biceps in line with your ears. Let's take one more breath here. And then plant your hands to frame your front foot. Step your right foot all the way back, nice wide stance. And then pivot onto the sole of that foot. Come into warrior two. So for warrior two, feet are wider than warrior one, and they're in one line. So you could draw a line from your front heel to the inner arch of your back foot. Arms extend, hips opening up to the side. Nice and strong pressure. Feet down, send the crown of your head up. Big lunge into that front knee. The next time that you inhale, send your right hand back, sweep your left hand up, open the left side of your body. And as you exhale, side angle, left elbow to left thigh, sweep your right hand straight up towards the ceiling or all the way overhead. Get a stretch in for the side of your body. Push your right foot down, reach your right fingers away. Take an inhale here. As you exhale, come back, warrior two. And we're going to make our way from warrior two into another balance if you want. You don't have to do this. You could stay strong in warrior two. It's a big workout for your legs, as you're probably feeling. If you want to try the balance, we're coming into Ardha Chandrasana. Bring your right hand to your hip, start to hop your foot in. Have a block handy, and then place your left hand forward and out and start to pick that right foot up. So you're opening everything up to the right, trying to stack the right side of your body on top of the left, and maybe bringing your right hand up. Keep your right foot picking up. Use the outside edge of that hip. And don't worry if you're sort of hopping in and out of this, that is also fine. If your left hand is to a blocker to the floor and you feel really steady, maybe you can play with coming onto a finger. Maybe you can play with lifting that hand, bringing it to your heart. One more breath. And then everybody, hands down. Step your right foot forward to meet your left. Forward fold over your legs, maybe take a little sway. Let that go. And then halfway lift the next time you inhale, ripple forward with the crown of your head. Exhale to fold over your legs. And then as you inhale, press your feet down. Come and stand, take a big stretch through your body. And then again, steadying your breath. Letting that sequence go. We're going to do it again on the other side. It might be completely different on this side, so not worrying too much about it. Feet nice and planted, big bend in the knee, crown of head reaching up. Transfer your weight into your right foot, and let's come into tree on the other side. So hands to heart center, lift that left knee up, and then start to open your left knee to the left. Let the sole of your left foot find the inside of your leg. Thigh, calf, heel and ankle, toes to the ground, it's all good. And really send that standing leg back into your foot. So you have that sense of everything pressing together at the midline. Maybe you find a drishti. Pour your focus there. All of your awareness on this one point. If you feel steady, reach your hands high. Let's take one more breath here. And then hands coming back through heart center if they were lifted. You could lower that foot, give yourself a little break, or you could keep it lifted if your leg feels pretty good. And then slowly step your left foot back, warrior one. So warrior one, hips facing forward, back foot at a 45-degree angle, front knee nice and bent. Maybe you sweep your arms up, pushing your feet down, that reach up with your fingers, maybe a little lift for your heart. Let's stay here for a couple of breaths. Keep lunging into your front knee. And then hands through heart center, and we'll get set for that warrior three balance. So pivot onto the ball of that left foot, and then start to tip forward, and maybe this is enough for you today. Arrow pose, there's still some challenge here, core working. Or you can start to hop your left foot in and then pick it up, sliding it up as if up a wall, crown of head reaching forward away from your foot. Everything's in one line, toes facing down on that lifted leg. If this feels really good, maybe your arms reach forward. Let's stay here for another couple of breaths, and it is fine if you're wobbling, kind of coming in and out of this. That is cool. It's a hard pose. Oh, I'm wobbling. Use a couch, use a door. Plant your hands down, step your left foot all the way back, and then we'll come into warrior two. So pivot on the sole of your left foot so it's parallel to the back edge of your mat. Front knee over front ankle, really wide, long stance. Arms open up, right knee's tracking out. It's a little external rotation. Stay for a strong breath. And then as you inhale, left hand back, right hand up, open the right side of your body. And as you exhale, side angle, right elbow, right thigh, sweep your left hand up towards the ceiling or forward, bicep in line with your ear. Stay for an inhale here, lifting your heart up a little bit, reaching your left hand forward. And then as you exhale, come back, warrior two. And you might stay here, just working your legs nice and strong. Or you might bring your left hand to your hip and start to hop, heel toe that foot in a little bit for Ardha Chandrasana. So your hand to a block or to the floor, walking it out into the right, picking your left foot up and really firming that foot, flexing it, feeling the outer edge of your hip work. And maybe you sweep your left hand up, keep opening everything up to the left. If you want to challenge your balance, you could play with coming onto a finger, hovering your right hand. It's playtime, don't worry if you fall. Couple more breaths here. Stacking the left side of your body on top of the right, opening up. And then we'll all meet forward fold at the front of the mat, left foot plants. You could sway a bit over your legs. Halfway lift, inhale. Forward fold, exhale. Press your feet down, stand and reach all the way up, big stretch. And then draw your hands through heart center. Bring your hands behind you, clasp your hands together to make a fist, and then roll your shoulders, lift your heart. Take a big inhale. And as you exhale, big bend in your knees, forward fold, keeping that bind if it's comfortable. Head hangs down, fists reach up. Stay here for a breath. And then release your arms down. Plant your hands to the mat, bend into your knees, sit your bum back, and then come and lie down on your back. We'll do one little heart opener, one little back bend here, and we'll do bridge pose. So feet are hip bones distance apart, arms reach down. You can't quite reach your feet, they're just out of tickling distance of your fingers. And take a moment, let your pelvis get weighty. And then inhale to push into your feet and lift that pelvis up towards the ceiling. And once you've lifted your pelvis up, you can start to roll your shoulders under your ribs and maybe clasp your hands together again. Push your fists into the mat and lift the whole front of your body up here. I'm just adjusting my mic. So everything's lifting and opening up. Let's stay for 2 more breaths. And then let your hands release from underneath you and think about every part of your spine meeting the mat. So starting at the top, rolling yourself down, laying your spine on the ground. And just take a deep full round of breath into the back of your body, like you could pour your breath there. Exhale out of your mouth. And then give yourself a hug, knees in towards your chest. Rock your lower back to the mat. From here, we'll come into a little twist. So bring your arms wide, and if you don't have space, you can bend your elbows. Let your knees knock over to the left. Let your head turn to the right. And just try and let your body be as soft as possible. Take 3 breaths here. One more full inhale. Think about filling up. Just like you did with that 3-part breath, all the way down, let that breath billow up. Full exhale out of your nose. And then bringing your knees through center. You can take that twist on the other side. So knees fall to the right, head turns to the left, softening, breathing yourself into the twist. One more full inhale. Think about sending it down and letting it rise up. And a complete exhale. Body melts into the mat as you exhale. And then bringing your knees back through center. Give yourself a hug again. Knees in towards your chest. And then we'll come into dead bug for a moment. So send your legs up, send your arms up. And you can keep a really nice, generous bend in your knees so you're not making those hamstrings work here. Take some circles, slow circles with your ankles, with your wrists. After all of that balancing, just let those joints release and maybe you'll get some interesting pops and clicks. And then keeping your feet reaching up, reach your arms overhead, take a stretch through your body. And then knees in towards chest, plant your feet down to the ground. Bring your feet mat width distance and let your knees knock. And then you could cross your arms over your chest like you're giving yourself a little hug. Let's just take a few rounds of breath to lie here. Every time that you exhale, maybe you can imagine your body getting heavier into the ground. Maybe you can imagine any tension or stress that your body is holding melting into the ground with that exhale. All of the points of contact your body has with the mat, the back of your head, back of your shoulders, your pelvis, your feet get heavy. Take a slightly deeper breath, big inhale. And as you exhale, maybe take a stretch, slide your feet away, reach your arms. Roll onto one side, let yourself land, all curled up for a moment. And then slowly make your way to a seat. Sitting bones heavy, crown of head reaching up. Loads of length through your spine. You might want to just circle your shoulders away from your ears or take a neck circle or two. Chin to chest and then left ear over left shoulder. Chin through chest, right ear over right shoulder. And then finding that nice tall seat, long spine. We're going to end with a little bit of breath work, a breath called Nadi, Shodana, or alternate nostril breathing. And this is a really good breath just to balance your nervous system, balance your mind. So you're going to bring your hand in front of you and then curl in your right hand in front of you and then curl in your index finger and middle finger so that your second finger, pinky finger, and thumb are extended. And then you're going to bring your hand towards your face and you're going to plug your left nostril with your second and pinky finger and inhale up your right nostril. So inhale up your right nostril. And at the top of that inhale, plug your right nostril with your thumb and exhale out of your left. And then inhale up your left nostril. Plug, exhale out your right. Inhale up your right nostril. Plug, exhale out your left. Inhale up your left nostril. Plug, exhale out your right. Inhale up your right nostril. Plug, exhale out your left. Inhale up your left nostril. Plug, exhale out your right. Final round. Inhale up your right nostril. Plug, exhale out of your left. And then you can let your hand rest in your lap. Take a moment just to notice the effect of that pranayama, Nadi, Shodana, alternate nostril breathing. How do you feel? How is your body? How is your mind? Is there any difference to how you're feeling now, to how you felt at the start of the class? Just notice it. And then draw your hands to your heart. It could be one hand on top of the other. Your hands could be in prayer. And just take a moment to say thank you to yourself for your practice today, for making this time. And let's finish with one breath. So inhale deeply through your nose. Exhale completely out of your mouth. Sigh out. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. I hope these practices are useful. As I said, you can break this up. You can do different parts, whatever is useful for you. But yeah, stay safe, stay well. Thank you so much, and I hope I see you climbing soon. Bye.